Although the idea of having a working mother is commonplace in our society today, there's often still a stigma attached with her. She can be accused of caring more about rising in the ranks of her career than in raising her family. Her critics can often be her family, her spouse, her peers, and often herself even. The question remains, however, how does having a working mother affect a family? And the answer seems to be divided. The research shows that the children are not negatively affected by their mothers working, and in fact oftentimes show positive effects by it. They show lower rates of anxiety as young adults, and they also show to have a better quality of time spent with their mothers. The working mother herself is often prouder and happier with her family, but she can feel less satisfaction and more stress if she feels less support from her family, spouse, and her employer. But there are many reasons that a mother might find herself employed. It might be a financial necessity if she's a single mother, or if her spouse doesn't make enough to compensate for the whole family. And she might also find it hard to give up her career if she had worked especially hard on it. She might also be afraid that possibly, taking 5 or 6 years off until her kids are in school, that maybe she'd be hurting her career somehow or missing out on an opportunity. She also might find it difficult to find a job after 5 or 6 years. However, the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics estimates that 79% of unmarried mothers are working, and also 69% of married mothers are working. Many of these mothers feel anxious about the kind of impact that they're having on their children. However, Podville and Podville explain in their article, Working Mothers, How Much Working, How Much Mothers, and Where is the Womanhood?, that the families of a working mother show more structure and discipline and also consistency, and that their children have less anxiety as young adults. Also, Chase, Lansdale et al. Show that on average, pre-kindergarten children do spend 2 hours less per day with their mothers than non-working mothers with their children. But the time they do spend together seems to be more meaningful and of better quality. So although they might spend less time together, the time is more bonding together. And also the mother herself tends to give up more time to spend with her family. She gives up time for herself and time with her friends because she feels she needs to spend it with her family. So that the time that they do spend together is more bonding as a family. But it's interesting enough that it seems that the mother herself often feels the negative brunt of working. This graph shows that a working mother's schedule is very divided. I had created this graph after talking to a couple of colleagues of mine who are also working mothers. We had compared our schedules and shown that they show, similar stress levels and just, overwhelming tasks in proportion to how many hours there are in a day. A working mother has to get up and get her kids ready and herself ready and their breakfast ready and then get them off to school and then go to work herself. She has to come home and pick up her kids and take them where they need to go. She also has to get dinner ready and also take care of the house still, and also still spend time with her children and her spouse and then herself and then sleep. It's overwhelming the number of things she has to do per day. A working mother has to balance her career and impressing and satisfying her employer with also balancing and fulfilling the duties that she has at home with her family life. And although, she often finds that she spends as much time at work and as many hours at work as her spouse, oftentimes she is the primary caregiver of their children, and she finds herself, doing all the household chores as well. This stress of a double life can really lead to, major consequences in her life. She can have health problems, such as maybe heart palpitations or such. She can also have mental problems or stress and anxiety. It's not a good thing for her to take all this on herself. But with a good support structure in place, maybe a grandparent or sibling who can take the kids while she works, or maybe for a few hours a week just to give her some time to herself, or maybe a spouse who can take equal responsibility for the household chores and their children, or even just an understanding employer can really help her stress load and really affect her life positively. All of these together can really help her to be a more happy individual and a lot less stress on her plate. But concluding this presentation, it is important to reiterate the fact that children are not harmed by their mothers working. In fact, they're often positively influenced by it. And I really hope that this can make, working mothers maybe just take a deep breath and just give themselves a break once in a while. But any negative effects, posed by a mother working, whether on the mother or the child, can be helped by, equal supporting or equal sharing of parental duties by mothers and fathers, supportive family and friends, and an understanding employer. All of these can help a mother to have a happy family, healthy children, and also a rewarding career. Is there any questions I can answer today?
What can a spouse do to make it easier on a working mother?
Things that need to be done. This undoubtedly would be extremely appreciated by the mother, and it might give her a minute to herself. It would also make the father's life better, and because everyone knows that when a mother's happy, everyone's happy. Is there any more questions?
Can a working mother's stress affect her health?
It can definitely affect her health. She can have, heart problems. She can have bad eating habits, which affect her rates of obesity. She can also have mental distress, including anxiety, depression, or guilt. This is why it's so important to have this kind of good structure of support in place, because she really needs it to improve her quality of life. But I would like to thank you for listening to this presentation, and have a great day.